we've built a horizontal causal machine learning platform that allows businesses to legitimately go from data to best actions. Now, what I'm going to talk about is a vertical that we've built out of this using our proprietary algorithms. It's called Optify, and it basically maximizes profitability in e-commerce stores by optimizing pricing. And currently, the way that pricing is done is pretty ad hoc and chaotic, using a combination of guesswork, markup, and competitor price copying. This is massively suboptimal, but also ignores individual brand dynamics. Optify is different. It continually monitors sales and adapts pricing to ensure that it's always optimal. Now, it does this with a unique blend of causal machine learning and Bayesian optimization theory to actually do many experiments, and this way we can mathematically prove it can always find the optimal price. And I can show you a demo later if you want to see it.
Amazing. Thank you very much. You mentioned that it optimizes the price. Does it connect to directly Shopify, or how does it know the competitors?
That's right. So it's going to plug into lots of different platforms. We're starting out with Shopify, so we'll directly plug into Shopify at first, and that's our initial route to market with it.
All right. Do you have any more questions? You have one there? Maybe a bit of a workout to look at.
Hi. So a lot of the time, AI the way that it works is it tends to average out information in a way, roughly. Like, I'm not saying it averages the numbers, but like information on a whole. And with pricing something that, to be honest, like when you A/B test things, you'd be surprised, like you can't end up pioneering pricing, putting something at a weirdly high price for the market and it still sells at that price because it's about value proposition. So how does your model take into account, like, outside the box, so to speak, strategy in terms of pricing?
Yeah, so what it does is it will automatically adapt to what the demand is given the price. So the way it works is, you mentioned A/B testing, and I actually think A/B testing, I come from a scientific background where we call it a randomized controlled trial, and it's actually quite old-fashioned and flawed. You cannot find an optimal price of it. You can only test one thing versus something else, but what do you test it against? This uses many adaptive Bayesian experiments along with causal machine learning, and it can actually, with mathematically prove it will find the optimal. But because it's also causal machine learning, this uniquely can find conditional treatment effects, which is basically, depending on the audience, depending on who's going to the page, it can find an experiment with the optimal pricing too.
You have one last question? We have one time for one last question. All right.
Sorry. Hi. Just want to know, what's your, just a two-parter. So, what is Optify and Causa, and how do they interact with each other? And is this the project that you're going to be working on as a business? And then, what is your revenue model?
Yeah, so we started out as a causal machine learning platform. So the model there is that it's a developer's platform that makes causal machine learning easy to access for developers, because at the moment most people use just predictive forecasting models, and you actually legitimately cannot use those for decision making or know what actions to take. So that's first, and so we have some revenue on that already, and we actually plug into other customers' software. With this is something recent that we built out using the technology from the platform. So at the moment, we haven't gone to market with this. We're doing POCs to get the stats that we need. And then through an angel who's invested, who has a Shopify agency, we're going to go to market through that.